Hello everyone, I'm Joey and I'm here on my Create with Joey page with 3 beautiful cards to share with you with the Shepherd's Care stamp set. I've been so excited to make cards with this stamp set and I've kind of saved it to getting closer and closer to Christmas, so we are going to make some cards with it today. So I'm sorry those of you that have been probably looking for me live. I know I'm late. I apologize. I wasn't going to I didn't even feel like I could do a Facebook Live this week because my team meeting was last night. I have a class tomorrow night in person, but I just didn't want to miss it. So I got up this morning and I started stamping, and I was only going to make one fun fold card, and then I just kept going. I love the fun fold card I have to show you, and I hope you're going to like it too. So let's just go ahead and get started. When you jump on, I would love for you to say hello and let us know where you're from. And let's make friends. I think my main thing of stamping is not only being creative and it relieves stress, but it also connects us with other people. There's just something about being creative with other people that you just kind of let down your barriers and make friends. So I would love for you to say hello, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn my phone down. It's a little bit of an awkward transition, but once we get turned around, I'll be upside down and then you'll be right side up. We'll be in good shape. Okay, so here we go. It does take a minute for people to see that I'm live. And since I'm late today, it might take a little bit longer for people to jump on. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. I'm so glad you're here as well. If you enjoy the video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get my phone squared away here, and it's not working. Trying to get it straightened out. Just give me just a moment. There, it's a little better, not that much. Let's come down a little bit, and let's get this computer out of the way. Oh gosh, I have a new phone. I'm just trying to get used to it. There we go. That's better. Okay, my special this week, since I didn't think I'd actually be able to go live this week and do an online class, I thought it's a really big week because we have our seasonal sale started today. And if I didn't say I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I am. And it is my job. It's my full-time job, and I love doing it. I love stamping and being creative and being with sharing that with other people. The seasonal sale there's 20% off of paper bundles and ink from the annual catalog. This is from the annual catalog. And so 20% off designer series paper. This paper is cardstock. All the cardstock in the annual catalog. Oh, okay, let me start that again. That's not the right thing. So save up to 20%. So let's kind of ignore that a moment. There's 20% off on bundles. That includes punch bundles and die bundles, both. All bundles. And then there's 20% off of designer series paper. We're going to take a look at some of the designer series paper today. There's 10% off of all cardstock and 10% off of ink. That includes blends, markers, that includes ink refills, obviously ink pads, etc. So if you order $50 or more this week, you can also qualify for my mystery bag grab bag special. These are while supplies last. Several of them have been spoken for already, and I have a minimum amount that I have to give. But they're retired products, and with every $50 or more, you can get a mystery grab bag. This is an actual picture of my box. I added that graphic of the bow, but these are my bags. They have stamp sets in them. They're going to have a stamp set. they're going to have either an embossing folder or a set of dies. And then I'm going to send us 12 6x6 pieces of designer series paper. So there's three gifts with your grab bag this week. My special goes through the 17th. The sale only goes through the 15th. So today through the 15th is the day for the sale. I will put all of this in the newsletter in my newsletter to my subscribers. So that is where pretty much everything lands. So if you are interested in making sure that you know my specials and you get my free tutorials, what I'm showing you today, I will be sending those tutorials to my newsletter subscribers as well. Hi Jamie, Jamie's here, so yay, someone found me. I'm happy you're here, Jamie. I hope more are going to jump on. I know I'm late, so much later today than I intended to be. All right, let's jump into I'm going to show you the card first. So this is the first card we're going to make. This is the fun fold that I was talking about. So I don't know if you can see that, but it would sit on someone's desk like this. I think you can see that maybe in the video. If I turn it this way, maybe you can see a little bit better. Try to ignore the sticky note on the back. This is what it looks like from the top. This is where I put all my measurements when I'm creating my class. So let's go ahead and make this card. And I have two others to show you as well as this one. So let me get all the parts out for that. Hi, Martha. I know I'm sorry I'm late today, which didn't help you find me. But I'm so happy you did find me. I said to Jamie that there's probably going to be people that are not going to find me because I'm not on when I'm normally on. I'm not a whole lot later, but yeah, I'm probably a good 40 minutes later. Okay, this cardstock is a little bit torn here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure why. Hang on, I'm going to grab another piece of cardstock. Well, we'll just deal with it. I have to dig for it. I thought I had one already cut, but I don't. It's not just glaring at me, so we'll go ahead and use this one. Well, we could go this way. Sometimes, that'll be better. Duh. I had a hard time getting to sleep last night. It was storming here, so I ended up putting in my earplugs. Anyway, I'm going to blame that on my ditziness, but, you know, it could just be that I'm ditzy, period. All right, you guys, this paper, so let me show you. Let's get it out. This is the Winter Meadow paper, and this is, don't look yet because I don't have the, oh, yeah. It's on this page of our annual catalog 101. So it's all the paper I'm showing you today is on sale. This for the next 3 days, but you can hardly see it. They just show you the little corner of it here. This was a really popular paper when it first came out. They couldn't keep it in stock. So if you like this paper, I would suggest that you go ahead and either, if you already have it, to stock up on it, and if you don't have it, to get it purchased sooner rather than later. You know, I'm looking at my paper. I don't think I cut this. I think this is supposed to be cut 3 3/4 by 5. So I think I didn't get that cut the way I wanted it to. We're going to try that anyway. So 3 3/4. I think this is, yeah, that's right. I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, and it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to go 3 3/4 by 5. There we go. Oh, now it'll work. I'd already cut my mat, so I wanted to make sure it was going to work with my mat. Now my mat, let's get the measurements out here. My white mat is 4 1/8 by 9 3/8. See how that's going to fit there? Okay, let's go ahead and, oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We're good. This will work. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some tape on the back of this. And I'm putting it on a white mat that's just a little bit, just a tiny bit bigger. There we go. Now, this piece of white is, well, let me make sure I give you the exact right, because it's not what I normally would be cutting. So this is 4 1/8 by 9 3/8. 4 1/8 this way, 9 3/8 this way, and then it's scored at 2 and 4, like so. Okay, so let's go ahead. Hi, Donna. Oh, yay, Donna found me too. I'm so happy you're here. Alrighty, now, I think I did this whole thing wrong. Did I? No, this is, oh, I know what I did. Okay, this was, I shouldn't have cut that. Dang it. All right. So ignore what I said before. And as far as the size of the paper, I got confused. I was looking at a different card. I'm gonna recut this. I'll use this piece, but you know what? This was supposed to go on the inside. I'll use this on another card, but I'm gonna redo this because this is the card I especially wanted to show you, so I want to get it right. We'll go back, and we should have left our paper at 4 by 5 1/4. So here we go. If you haven't watched me before, this is not too uncommon. I usually make something and then unmake it and then get on the right track by 5 1/4. We didn't get too far with this one. We didn't have to really unmake anything. so that's good. Now, I gave you the right measurements for everything else, so just so you know that. Now, this is actually going to go on this piece, so that's where I kind of got mixed up. This card uses quite a lot of designer series paper, and so those of you that are like, I've got so much paper, this one is perfect to use up some of that paper. What is going on here? This is such a tiny little frame there. Yeah, there we go. That's what it's supposed to do though. Okay, and then this is going to come up like this. Now for this bottom piece, we have a piece that is 2 7/8 by 4, or maybe I better double check that. Yeah, 2 7/8 by 4, and it goes this way. Same pack of paper. I'm using this little more muted side. But this is the winter meadow paper that I was talking about. And again, if you're on my newsletter, you'll get the PDF, or you'll get the project sheet for this, which gives you all the products that I used and the sizes of to cut your paper. So this goes on here as well. Make sure there we go. Okay, so this is what we have so far for this one. Then let's go ahead and put this on here. Yeah, like so. So this is the card, and then this is how this is going to go on here. Make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead. You know what? I'm going to use glue for this because this is something I think people might set up on their desk. That's kind of what the idea is behind it, I think. And I don't know if this has a name, this particular fold, but it's an easel card. Maybe it would be called maybe even a double easel card. I don't know the official name, but it is an easel card. So let's go ahead and get this glue. Liquid glue gives you a few minutes to get it positioned. So there we go. So now we have this. And then people can set it up like that. There's the easel part of it. Okay, let's go ahead and finish our card. Let's get an inside. since I accidentally put our other designer series paper on what was supposed to go on the inside. I just had to grab a different one. Let's go ahead and let's stamp our greeting before we put this all together. So this is, I don't even know if I showed you, guess I did show you the stamp set, but I'm using this stamp set today, Shepherd's Care. I think I flashed it up at the beginning of the video. I love the artwork. I love everything about it. I like the greetings and everything. And I'm also using the Countryside Corners dies. So these are in the annual catalog as well. And I'm using this one and this one, but I think I have everything already die cut. So let me get out my bits and show you what I've got going here. And oops, my stamp set fell on the floor and I have to pick it up because I have a little doggy here. His name is Teddy, who would love nothing more than to chew on my stamp set case. So otherwise I could just leave things fall on the floor, but not anymore. I'm taking Night of Navy ink and I'm stamping the inside greeting. We're going to make another card where this is actually going to be the outside greeting. It's praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the year. Then I'm going to grab my cleaning pad. Hi, Arlene. Yay, I'm happy you're here. And if you're watching on YouTube or on replay, I would love for you to still say hello. And I always come back and check my comments, so I'll come back and say hello to you as well. And if you have questions, then I answer your questions. I am going to take a little piece of scrap paper. I could just use my grid paper. We do have grid paper in the catalog, but then it gets really messy for you to be sitting there looking at. This beautiful star stamp is so pretty, and I'm going to go ahead and put that. Let me get back in the screen. Probably get my head in here, kind of right at the top of this, trying to go straight up. There you go. I really think that makes a pretty inside of this Christmas card. I had my team meeting last night, as I said, and we talked a lot about Christmas cards, that get them out to our family and friends, get them out to our customers, or anyone that's purchased anything from us in the past year. So I have a lot of cards to get out, so I am on a mission to get my Christmas cards, get as many made as I can in these weeks leading up to Christmas. So there's our inside, and here's our outside. Now let's do all the pretty stuff. So I'm taking that one die that I showed you, and I'm going to stamp our beautiful shepherd stamp. Hi, Christy and Gloria. Hello, welcome. I'm so happy you're finding me. Okay, let's go ahead and stamp this beautiful stamp. This stamp has so much detail, and all you have to do is just stamp it. You don't have to color it. You can color it. I think actually the sample in the catalog is colored. You can color it. You could emboss it with gold or silver embossing powder would be beautiful. Okay, what I am going to do though, again, because I want the greeting to stand out. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp off this little shepherd. And then I just felt like full strength. It was kind of just competing too much with everything else, and it didn't seem to blend in. Because the winter metal paper is kind of a... I'm trying to get this where I think it should be. It's kind of a watercolory paper, so I felt like that initial stamp was just a little bit too strong. I also did try Misty Moonlight. If some of you are thinking, why didn't you try a lighter blue ink? I did try Misty Moonlight, but I just didn't feel like the undertones, I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't work as well. I just didn't think so. Anyway, so this is what we have. Then I also die cut that larger Country Borders die out of this white glimmer paper. This is in a set of glimmer paper. Let's go ahead and get this going here. I think I put this flat. So I am going to, for this, I'm going to grab some Stampin' Seal Plus. It's a very good adhesive, and it holds really well. I could use glue. Glimmer paper does not like things sticking to it, so you do need to use a good adhesive for that. So there's that guy. I forgot where I was going earlier. I'll remember it, I'm sure. Okay, so now when I cut insets for cards that are 4 by 5 1/4, what I end up with a lot of times, or all the time when I'm doing those measurements, is these 1/2 inch strips. So I keep them and I just put them in my scrap bin, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp full strength Night of Navy. So let's go ahead and do that. And this, we're just going to trim the ends off of this, so it doesn't matter exactly how long it is. So again, I'm probably going to get my head in the picture. I'll try not to. There we go. Okay. There we go. I think that worked pretty good. Then I'll go ahead and clean it. Night of Navy is one of those colors that has a life of its own. If you don't clean your stamps right after you use them, you're liable to get a lot of ink in a lot of places. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim this guy. I'm just going to angle the ends just a little bit like so. If you've watched me very much, you know this is my go-to way of doing greetings, especially when they're skinny. I just pull out these strips and it seems to work really well. All right, let's go ahead and do a little more decorating on this. Let's wrap some ribbon around this. I meant to look online to see if this was still the back in stock. It's the striped trim, and it's very iridescent. I think it goes so pretty with this paper. Oh, that's what I was meaning to tell you earlier. So this white glimmer paper is in with 2 other colors. It's in with oh boy, now I'm trying to think of it. It's in with Berry Burst and Old Olive. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to look that up for you before we get off to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. But let's tie this bow first. So around this bottom piece, I'm just going to pull my ribbon around like this. Make sure I have enough to tie my bow there. And then I like to have my cardstock going the way that it's going to face the person I'm giving it to when I tie my bow. I just think it helps me tie my bow a little bit better as far as fitting on the front of my card. And I just tie it right off the bolt. And this ribbon, you guys, just ties so nicely. If it's not in stock yet, back in stock, it's coming back in stock. They have reordered it. And I don't think it's, if it isn't in yet, I don't think it's too far away. Just going to go ahead and trim this. It's really beautiful. It goes with so many color schemes and card designs. So we've got this here, and then let's go ahead and put this guy on. Now I want him to be fairly centered, so if your bow is over a little bit too far, I'm just going to kind of bend the cardstock and then pull on it, which is hard to show you how to do it while I'm filming it, so I'm just going to do it the way I would normally do it and pull this over because I want this to be centered. There we go. I think that's good enough. Okay, now let's get this on our card here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to turn this over, put it where I want it here, and this is mainly to avoid getting dimensionals on the ribbon because then your main piece isn't really sticking to the card itself. It's sticking to the ribbon, which makes it unstable. That's what I'm trying to say. So this way I can see where that ribbon is and I can avoid it by going below it and then also above it. Like, oops. But I also don't want to get past this either, so I have to be sure I'm below the fold so I don't stick my card together. Does that make sense? Let's get one more on here. Since this is a part people will handle, let's go ahead and get one more here. Then we'll take these off. I'm going to grab my tool. This is called a take your pick tool, and it really works well for things like taking off your dimensionals, your backings of your dimensionals. And then let's go ahead and put this like so. Trying to, oops, I want it up a little bit higher. Well, we'll just go with that. And then my bow's right there, okay, like so. There we go. Now, I tried something this morning. As I said, I did these cards all this morning, which is one reason I'm a little late today. Let me grab the pack of glimmer paper so I can tell you exactly what it is. This is called, so I have more, I have another pack, but these are the three colors. It's the Berry Burst, the Old Olive, and the white. So what I did this morning, I don't remember if I've tried this before. I'm looking for a scrap. I know I had a scrap of the white glimmer, but we'll go ahead and use this one. So this is called, before I get away from it, it's called Berry Burst, Old Olive, and White Glimmer Specialty Paper. When you're looking online, you almost have to have the words right, because otherwise sometimes it won't come up. But the number for this, if you want it right now, is 163769. 163769 for this. And I love it, especially, well, I've used all the colors, as you can see from my empty package. But I love for winter and for Christmas, the white especially. Now, I didn't know if this would work very well, and you might think maybe it didn't work all that well, but what I did was, I thought this morning, can I stamp on glimmer paper? I think I've done it before. If I've done it, it's been a long time, but I'm going to really, really ink up my Night of Navy. Probably should have actually re-inked my ink pad before this, because you want it to be good and solid. So I'm going to just go straight down on my glimmer paper, and I'm pressing pretty well, not pressing super hard, but I'm pressing pretty firmly because I want that ink to really, really sink into the glimmer paper. Now, you might think that that's not all that successful, but I think from my card that is actually going to work okay. I mean, obviously, if you're stamping a solid surface on glimmer paper, it's not going to be a solid image because, well, it's glimmer paper. So, you know, there's that. Okay, then we are going to fussy cut out this pretty star here. Oh, Christy, bless her heart, she looked up the glimmer paper, or no, the ribbon, the iridescent ribbon that we used. She says that's coming in December 2nd, or the week of December 2nd. Now, I would say this, put a reminder on your calendar for several days ahead of that, because I'm just going to get rid of some of this so I can cut it a little bit better, because things have been coming in early. I think they give you a later date than is possible, because sometimes, you know, just so you're not disappointed and you're looking for it and it's not there yet when you've been already waiting. I'm kind of doing a rough cut with my star, but I have found that things are coming in early, and then sometimes they're selling out before even the date that they were supposed to come in. I'm going to do a little bit of this here just to get rid of some of this excess. It makes it a little bit easier to cut. There we go. So my friends, I would put the reminder on my calendar a few days ahead of December 8th for that ribbon, because that ribbon is so popular. It, mark my words, my friends, it will sell out again. You know, especially with the holidays, I think. It's so pretty. It goes with everything. And I haven't been using it because it isn't in stock, and so I hate showing things that aren't in stock, but it is coming in stock, so that's the main thing, that if you can't get it right now, you can get it without too long of a wait. Although if you're, you know, if you've got everything done on your Christmas cards except for that ribbon, you'll be good. You'll still be good. Because orders, oh, the other thing is orders are going out right away, sometimes the same day, even without paying for 2 days shipping. Like sometimes for my classes, I pay for 2 days shipping because I just have to make sure it's coming. But my order the day before yesterday, I didn't pay for 2 days shipping, and it was for some of my classes coming up, and it's already shipped. So I feel really good about that. I'm just going through my star now, and I'm kind of refining the points on the stars so that these edges, I know you probably can't see what I'm doing. I'll try and get a little bit better. If I hold it to where you can see it, then I can't see it very well. Okay, we'll call that good. I could probably keep messing with it, but we're going to call that good. So that's the story on the glimmer ribbon. All right, now what I did for this guy is I went ahead and put this star. I'm trying to figure out what way I want it to go. That looks good. Let's do that. I'm going to just use one full-size dimensional. Well, maybe not. Oops, I think those will show. So let's grab some mini dimensionals, and we'll put 2 mini dimensionals instead of 1 regular size there. Put these over, and let's stick on our star up here. I honestly felt like with the watercolory looking paper behind, I felt like that my star is okay, stamping the Night of Navy on the glimmer. I think it shows up well enough, and then obviously when we cut it out, it pops up on the paper. Now for gems for this, I use, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on with Teddy. Sorry about that. He's usually really quiet for Facebook, but he's something. Teddy, no bark. No bark. He's, I have no idea what's going on. He's got something he doesn't think is quite right. So the gems I'm taking are the Drusy gems. They're called D-R-U-S-Y. Drusy adhesive back embellishments. They're not called gems, embellishments. And I think that's so pretty. They're so sparkly. Now in my sample, I didn't put any more on, but I wonder if I think we could put a few more gems on. But not maybe on the shepherd. Well, maybe up here. I'm gonna gently get under that one, and maybe, there you go. I kind of like that because you kind of have your 3 gems in a triangle. All right, now let's get we don't want to leave off our greeting, so let's go ahead and get this guy on here. I'm going to go back and pull out our dimensionals. I'm putting this down. I don't want to put dimensionals on top of dimensionals, so I'm going to kind of feel where the other ones are so that I don't pile on dimensionals, because you know we are going to mail our Christmas cards. Yes? Anybody make Christmas cards they don't mail? I have done it, my friends. I have done it. But our intent is to mail them. So if you're going to mail them, you might not want this gem sticks out a bit. So you might want to put a flatter one that's more flat on it. But there's our card. Here's how it is. Here's how it's going to set up on someone's desk. I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping you can see how it's going to set up. Oh, hi, Arlene. Oh, you're welcome. I'm so happy you like it. And again, if you're new to me, I'll be sending out the directions for this and the photos to my newsletter subscribers. So just make sure you subscribe. And if you, I put my, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put all my links in the video description. So there is that. Now, I'm going to simplify my next card a little bit. My focus today was to show this stamp set and then to show it with different color schemes and to actually share some of the paper that's on sale in the annual catalog. So we're going to make a big jump here and move to this paper called Painted Lavender. Oops, hang on. I don't know if that's it. It's Perennial Lavender. I think the stamp set is called Painted, but it's Perennial Lavender. If you haven't seen this is this gorgeous paper. I don't have my 6x6 samples out. I don't know where I put them. I have them, but look how pretty this is. And I thought, well, let's just make a purple. Well, not exactly a purple Christmas card, but let's use this paper since it's on sale as well. Now, I used the same dies. Goodness gracious, can't talk today. This piece, I think, is the same, 3 3/4. Well, no, let's not say it's the same. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and then the mat I made out of basic white is 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. There we go. Let's put this on. Isn't this paper is so gorgeous? And I know we think of this for spring. Probably you do. But this gentle, soft background, I thought, well, let's just try it for a Christmas card. We're going to go ahead and put this on a pretty peacock card base. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Some of you might be saying, I can't really go with peacock and lavender for Christmas, and I get that. That's okay. You do you. I probably wouldn't normally choose it either, but I did want to showcase all this gorgeous paper. I think I'll speak for myself. I've gotten so carried away with all the new paper, you know, all the holiday paper, because let's face it, Stampin' Up! Makes gorgeous paper. I mean, it just is just so pretty. Well, and do we love all of it the same? No, we don't love all of it the same, but these are a few of my favorites from the annual catalog. So I'm sharing those with you today, as well as this stamp set that I really love, and I've been excited to share with you and make some cards with. So I'm going to make sure this is really clean. I did clean it, but it looked like the edges weren't quite clean, and I don't want navy ink in my early espresso ink pad transferring from the stamp to the ink pad. So we're going to do early espresso. Maybe let's do it this way. Probably will ink a little bit better. I'm stamping it quite a bit because I want to make sure it's really inked well, and then I'm just going to line this up to stamp it. Now, remember, when you're cutting out your shapes for die cutting, especially this kind of a shape, I'm kind of just trying to line this up here for a second. You can cut 2 at a time. So to mass produce Christmas cards, you can do all of the die cutting first and then do all of the stamping. Look how beautiful the detail is on this stamp. So I just think it's so pretty. This morning, I had it since the very first order that we could pre-order as demonstrators. But as I said, I've been waiting for it. So I'm so anxious to share with you today because I think it's so pretty. Okay, let's put that on hold for a minute. Oh, I think I forgot to do something on this. I think I forgot to put ribbon around it. Did I? I'm looking at my sample here. Yes, I did. So, typical of my Facebook Live, we're going to undo this. And then let's actually get out. I'm going to get out my mat, which has a rhinestone on it. This is my silicone mat. Oh gosh, oh no. I had an open ink pad. Don't do this, friends. Don't leave your ink pad open, and a card just almost got wrecked, but it looks like it's going to be okay. All right, and we're going to go back and use this ribbon again. My last card, I didn't use this ribbon, so you'll be able to make my last card just the way I'm showing you. I'm going to go, let's see, how do I want this to go? Sometimes I have to figure out which way I have to have the loose end. I think I have to have it go in this direction. Pull out enough to make a full bow. And then actually on this one, I'm going to put the bow on the left. So I have my mat here because otherwise since I already have adhesive on this panel, it would be sticking to my paper. If I have my glass mat out, then I would be okay. But I don't have my glass mat today. I don't know why. I just grabbed my grid paper. But both work really well. If you have one or the other, they both work really well for all your crafting. So let me go ahead and pull this. Isn't it so pretty? So put this on your list, if it's not already on your list, and then start checking your calendar several days before it's supposed to come in. Not your calendar, the website, gosh. Put it on your calendar, but check the website. Okay, here we go. Let's get this trimmed up a little bit. And there, it's just so pretty. I guess I'm combining a lot of things that maybe you wouldn't normally think of combining today. Okay, let's put a little more adhesive back on here and we'll stick this back down. As in, you know, this perennial lavender paper with this striped iridescent ribbon. But I don't know, in my eyes it works and it looks all pretty together, and maybe I'm giving you some ideas for some new color combinations. Okay, I've got a question to ask you. So we're going to put this guy about here, and then we're going to use either the lavender or the pretty peacock. This is probably Highland Heather. Okay, on my sample I used pretty peacock, but maybe, oh, Chrissy, I love it too. Thank you, Donna. So sweet of you. Okay, this is what it would look like with the Highland Heather glitter paper. And while you're putting it in the comments which you want me to try, put on it. We can do this one because I die cut both of them. So we can do Pretty Peacock or we can do Highland Heather, whichever you prefer. So while you're putting that in the comments, I'm going to grab this glitter paper and show you this one. This one comes in with these three colors. So Highland Heather, Pretty Peacock, and Petal Pink. And this one is called 3-color glimmer paper. The number is 162813. I think that's too little for you to see it, but that's the number. You'll need to write down the names of these, or you'll need to be on my email list where I give you the names of these, because otherwise, who would know that these 3 colors are called 3-color glimmer paper? Okay, so Martha likes Highland Heather. Kathy likes Highland Heather. I know I call it lavender too, Kathy. If you've stamped for a while, you remember, was it Lovely Lavender that we used to have? Peacock, oh gosh, are you guys gonna make it tied? So let me count these. So we've got Kathy with lavender, Arlene lavender, Highland Heather, Martha Highland Heather, Donna Peacock, Christy Peacock. Okay, if the votes are in, I think we're gonna try this one. We'll go ahead, and then I've got 2 more for any other card. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, the way I tried to do this card with the greeting, well, let's stamp the greeting for one thing. Now, this die is from the Something Fancy dies, just so you know where it came from. Again, I'll have everything on my list of supplies on my project sheet, so you don't have to, so you have everything written in front of you. You can copy that when you get it. But let's go ahead and do the greeting. I'm going to stick with Early Espresso. I know this might seem like an odd color combination, but in my mind it kind of worked. So I'm interested to see if you think it's working. You might be too polite to say, Joey, I think that's not my favorite color combination you've ever used. Okay, I'm going to get over the top of this and stamp gently, straight down, and then up. There we go. Now, a safer way to do this, by safer I mean getting it lined up, is to obviously stamp first and then die cut. But when I can die cut multiple things at one time, I do. So I went ahead and die cut several of those greetings. All right, we're going to put this here, and then we're going to stick this. I want it to kind of look like this sprig is coming out of the bow, and then it's just going to kind of come over into our main image. So let's turn this over. I'm going to try and sneak up my bow just a little bit. I probably can move it just a touch, like so. There we go. I think that'll be better. Then let's get we want this to be about here, over by the bow. So I'm going to, again, I'm putting it on my card where so I can tell where to avoid the ribbon. So we're going to do the ribbon right at the bottom here. I mean, gosh, dimensional golly. It's raining here today. And why I think that has to do with me calling things the wrong things, well, that's just the way I roll sometimes. Okay, let's get this over here. Pretty close to I'm kind of sticking it really close to the knot in the bow. So here we go. Get this stuck down. You know, maybe we should have put this on an Early Espresso card, but we didn't. So we're going to go with the Pretty Peacock. You know, I think that's why, although we could, you know what, we could change that if we wanted to. We might change that. We're going to stick with these colors for the front of this, but we might be able to pull it off and change our card base, since on our first card, the Pretty Peacock matches the cardstock. So I'm wondering if we maybe need to switch this to maybe Highland Heather to match our glitter paper. Now for this, you could die cut this with the self-adhesive sheets, and then it would become a sticker. But I kind of like for the sprigs to not be completely glued down, so I usually kind of do mine kind of like this. I don't want to cover up my shepherd, but I want the sprigs to come in the picture. Okay, my friends, we are going to once more undo something we've already done, and I'm going to grab some Highland Heather. I think I can pull this off gently again. I didn't stick it down too hard. Of course, we've already pulled it up once, so let's just do it again. Oh yeah, I think that's better. What do you think? Do you think the Highland Heather card base, or do you think stick with a pretty peacock? I'm going to put this one aside because I think it kind of confuses the issue. Which one do you think? Do you think that's too bright? We could do this. That might be too purpley. Let's stick with, this is gorgeous gray. Let's stick between these two choices. You let me know while I'm putting on the greeting. So I want my bow to not stick up and cover my greeting, so I'm going to kind of work on that. Then let's do the same thing. We're going to turn this over so we don't put dimensionals on top of dimensionals, because this way I can feel where they are. Now remember, when you write your answer as to your preference for card base, it takes a moment for it to come up on Facebook, so I might not see it right away, but it will come up. Let's go ahead and stick these down. Both work, but the Heather is more noticeable. Kathy Highland Heather, Arlene Highland Heather, Christy Schultz. Well, did I show you, Christy? So you saw what it would look like on... Okay, one more choice. Did I stick this down? I probably did, so that's okay. All right, here we go. Here's Pretty Peacock. That's good too. I mean, it really is. Or here is Highland Heather. Okay, I'm not sticking this down. I'm just going to kind of place it there. Once more, we're at the eye doctor. Here's Pretty Peacock. Here's Highland Heather. They both work. It just depends on what you think. So I'll let you guys vote, and I will get some gems out. So for gems for this card, I picked, well, where are they? Okay, so I picked these. Nope, I didn't pick these pearls. I did pick some pearls, but not those. I picked these pearls. These are the, get them open where you can see them. These are the adhesive back pearl trio. Let's open a full one so you can see. So you can see all the colors. Okay, I like peacock. Oh, Christy, oh, you meant the stamp, Christy? Oh, too late, sorry, that's already stuck down. I wasn't tracking with you, my friend. Okay, so these are the colors for the pearls, and I thought this color was really pretty. I think I have a few here. And Jamie likes peacock, Kathy likes Heather. Martha put H. I'm guessing that's Heather. Kathy Cohen says Heather is more noticeable. Okay, let's go with Heather for this one. We've got our other one with the peacock, so now we have two the same. Okay, now for this one, you know, over here I picked this kind of blue because I thought it picked up the blues but of the peacock, but I'm thinking maybe we need a different gem. Let's see. Well, maybe for the sake of time, we'll go ahead. This might be okay. I mean, it lends kind of pink, but there is kind of pink in here. Let's go with this pearl. I don't know what colors these are supposed to be. I don't think they're on the little packaging, so let's go with this one. I'm not going to stick these down really hard because I might decide later they don't go, that they're too pink, because they do They are more pink. I don't know though. I think, you know, it's a Christmas card and it's a handmade card, so I think both are really pretty. I think both are good. I'm happy with them. I think they turned out cute. I hope you like them. And I think the surprise with this card is the early espresso. For some reason, I just saw early espresso, and I think it worked with the other colors. So let's go ahead and actually glue this down this time. And you go back to my tape runner and put down a little more adhesive this time. And this time we want it to stick. So let's go down to our card base. Thanks so much for helping me. I love when you guys chime in because then I feel like you're here with me. And I love stamping with other people. That's actually the way I started stamping. A friend of mine and I started stamping together. She was the one that really wanted to get into it. I wasn't that sold on it. But because I felt overwhelmed. The first workshop I went to, I felt really overwhelmed. Just too many choices. So if you're watching and you think you might like to do it, but it feels overwhelming to you, I would love for you to contact me because I think I can simplify it for you and help you not feel so overwhelmed. And when you think of it, you know, for one thing, you just want to think about basically what you have to start stamping is stamps, ink, and paper. You don't need all this die cutting stuff. In fact, the next card I'm going to show you is simpler. So now for this one, why don't we go ahead and stamp this? There's a little village of Bethlehem. That's what this is. What about if let's just go into our lavender. Let's just pull out Highland Heather. As you can tell, I didn't have this pulled out earlier. Now, I don't know. I might try this on scrap paper first to see if it's going to actually go with this. This is what I do sometimes when I'm not sure of how things are going to go. Oh, I think that's okay. But I think I'm just going to leave it stamped off. I think that looks pretty, you guys. I think it's really pretty with the early espresso and the Highland Heather. Who knew? As I said, this was an early morning stamping session, which literally never happens to me. I always have my projects ready at least a day ahead, if not several days ahead of time. But there was no time this week, so it was either early this morning or not at all. So there's our second card. And I did not want to miss because we're doing our Christmas series. And I just thought, I have to show up. I want to show up. And when I say I'm going to show up, I want to show up. All right, the next card is going to be very simple. And it was kind of again, I put these together pretty early this morning. I couldn't dink around with, let's try this or then let's try that. I kind of had to figure out what we were doing. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Both cards, I'm glad you brought these other papers into the cards. We forget annual catalog papers are beautiful too. Yes, Jamie, same. They are beautiful. And I think, you know, obviously new things are coming out all the time with Stampin' Up. And I don't know, I'm like the shiny toy. It's like all the new and beautiful. And of course, when Christmas comes, let's do the inside of our card here. This is a very simple card, but this is another color combination that I don't know. I had to be in a hurry this morning, so I couldn't really take time with, does that really work or does that not really work? This time we are going to use Misty Moonlight, but to be honest, okay, so this is really what happened this morning. I prayed about it. I'm a person of faith, and I said, Lord, I need you to help me with this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I knew I wanted to use this stamp set, and I knew I wanted to use annual catalog paper. That was it. That's all my only plan. I'm stamping off with Misty Moonlight once. And so I feel like he kind of helped me with my color combinations because I didn't know where I was going with it this morning. But sometimes, okay, here's something else. Sometimes, well, always for my clubs and my kit class, my club class, my craft along with me class. This is Misty Moonlight stamped off once. I always include a little tag on either their embellishments or their ribbon or something, and it's my thank you. It's kind of like my thank you gift for taking my class. And I usually design those the day my helper's here with me with the class, and she's getting everything cut and put together, and I'm designing at the very last minute. Here we want to put the greeting on top of this as well. My tags, but honestly, sometimes those are my favorite thing that I design. They just, because I don't have time to dink around with it. I don't know if you're like me, but the more choices you have, sometimes it's harder to make a choice. I'm usually better if I narrow it down. So when I'm making my little gift tags for my kit classes, this is Night of Navy, and I'm doing full strength. And I'm going to go right over our image with Night of Navy. And I'm going to hope that I inked it really well. What was I trying to say? I think because when I do my tags, I've got limited time, and I'm going to use whatever bundle I use for whatever if we've used like a certain bundle for that month, which I usually do, then I will go ahead and design my tags for that bundle. So that kind of limits me there. Okay, well, set this aside. Then let's do the inside of this. I didn't do the inside. Well, this is my last card this morning, so I thought, do I even have time to do one more card? And I didn't, but I took time, which is why I'm late going live today, because I thought, well, I need to show them at least three samples of what they can do with this. So let's look at the stamp set. Praying for You, Peace on Earth, Wonderful Counselor. How about this one? Let's do that one. Oh, I haven't even mounted this yet. All right, so you're going to see how I mount my stamps. This is how I do it. I should say not how I mount my stamps, but how I do my labels. All right, so I take this off. This is the backing on the stamp. And then I take my label out, like so. Okay, and then I take half of this label off. And then I line up the part that still has the label on it, because it's not going to stick. And then that's the easy way to line it up. So I get that perfectly lined up and press down, hold it down. It's not going to stick because the label's on that side, obviously. Then I press it down. This side is sticking, obviously. Then I'm going to take this off. And then it should line up perfectly, and it looks like it's pretty perfect. So we're going to go with this one, and running out of blocks because my stamps are all set up. Let me grab, let's just take this one off for now. My stamps are all mounted for my class tomorrow night, so I don't have as many glass blocks out here. All right, let's go ahead and stamp this beautiful greeting on the inside. Let's do Night of Navy for this. So how's everybody coming with their Christmas cards? Those of you that send Christmas cards, are you done? Are you not started yet? Are you somewhere in between? There we go. That's such a beautiful sentiment. And then let's go back to our star. And then since we started with Misty Moonlight, let's go ahead and stamp our star in Misty Moonlight. And let's stamp it off once over here. Whoops, that's not inked very well. Let's try that again. Like this. I'm probably not quite half done with my Christmas cards. I love this star stamp. It's so pretty. The artwork is just so pretty on this stamp set. Let me grab my cleaning mat. And that's okay. I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside. And just down. This is another combination I just got from, I just took it right from the designer paper. So this paper, let me show you this one as well. This one is on page 51 of our annual catalog, and it's this one up here. I could have used this one. This is called Country Woods Designer Series paper. And then this one is called Country Lace. This would have worked for this card too. These are all the blues and petal pink and gray. So I kind of like the warmth of since we were kind of working with Early Espresso, I went all in on Early Espresso, but I combined it with the Misty Moonlight because that's what Stampin' Up! Did, and they usually know their colors. But I thought this turned out really pretty. This piece of DSP is also 3 3/4 by 5, and then the Misty Moonlight matte is just 1/8 bigger, so it is 3 7/8 by 4 1/8 for the mat. Let's grab some twine for this. For this, I chose, you could use linen thread if you have that. That's such a common one that a lot of you will have. But I liked this tone. This is from these Baker's Twine Essentials pack. So let's go ahead and wrap this one around. This one it likes to twist. That's the only thing about twine when you're tying a bow with twine. Let's get this out of the way. I have too many things. I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to pull my twine around. Now, when I'm tying a bow with twine, I always make a knot. I just don't try and tie it like this straight up because it's too hard. So my middle finger is holding that down while I make a knot here. I make a knot and pull it. Now I'm going to make my bow. Hopefully I left myself enough twine. Wrap this around. It's just like tying your shoe, but of course on Facebook. Whoops. Twine is harder just because it's tinier, you know. So I'm going to see if I can do better with this. What the heck? All right, last time, I think I feel like I don't have enough. Somehow I can't forget this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to mess with this. I can usually tie a bow just fine, but if we really wanted a bow, we could still tie one like this. It makes it easier. Or we might just go with the knot. Let's go pull this through and then like this. There we go. Kinda, sorta. Okay, you know what? That is not working, so forget that. We're going to have a little knot here. Instead, I'm going to try and roll my twine so it goes down. I'll show you my finished one with the bow, but since we're on Facebook Live, I don't want to take time. Having trouble Okay, we're just going to leave that. We're just going to quit messing with this silly thing. All right, let's go like this and get our blue down on our early espresso card. And we'll stick it down. Now, if you're watching live on Facebook, I will upload this to YouTube later this afternoon. I'll have it up by evening. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll have all my links in the video description so you can find them. So we're going to put this. This is really bugging me. I don't like this. Let's see if we can. I'm going to try this bow one more time. You like the sentiment stamped across the shepherd? I do too, Christy. And this card, for those of you that are beginners watching, you don't have to have this die cut. You can just cut a rectangle for your shepherd and it'll be just as beautiful. So this paper is, or this card is basically stamps, ink, and paper. There we go. Had to quit thinking about it, I think. Usually I tie bows in a jiffy and there's no issues. But today is not that day. All right, now I'm going to put this on a mini glue dot because I don't like that little knot. It's not enough for this card. I don't know if that works either. Well, I'll work on that when you're not here with me. Let's go ahead and finish this up. I'm going to put, that looks weird too. I never have trouble with bows. I don't know what's going on today. But I'm so glad you were here with me today. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you very much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your orders. Remember, if you're ordering this week, this is the host code. This is what I'm using today. This is the Shepherd's Care stamp set, and that's the number for it. So let's go ahead and get this guy down here. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't like that. But let's keep going here. Let's get some gems on here. So for this card, I kind of went all around the block. I'm going to try and stick this under here and see if that's any better. And then maybe the bow. I just didn't like, it just wasn't laying right. Let's stick that. There's still a mini glue dot there. That's a little bit better. I kind of like that. We're going to leave that. For gems for this one, I kind of went back and forth between two different ones, and then I landed on using both of them. So I pulled out these. These are the Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins, and we're going to use a couple of these, and then I'm also going to use a couple of the pearls. I got to find them. I had all my gems stacked, and then when I was trying to, well, I don't see them. That's fine. We'll just go with all these, and then I'll show you my final one that has the other pearls on it, because I kind of like the mix-up. What I'm trying to say is I've used a mixture of gems on this card. Where is that? Hang on. It's here. It's got to be here. Let's see if this is it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So here are my gems that are my pearls that I wanted to use and show you. These are the different pearls. These are with that whole suite of products in the annual catalog that I was showing you, that Country Woods group of products. And these are pearls of different shades of gray, but there's this kind of bluish one here, which I thought would look really pretty with this card. So I'm going to take one of those. Let's go down here, and then let's take... So these are the bigger matte pearls, and these are the more blue shiny pearls. So there's this same color, and the small ones are up here. So let's grab one of those. Let's grab, I don't know if that's the right color. That's that light silver, so we want the darker blue, the bigger one. I'm going to put that maybe right here. I'm going to move this one just a little bit up here. And then one more of the brown ones. I feel like this is a really good brown. And I thought it looked really pretty with, oops, that's not the darkest one. Yeah, it is. With what we have going on here in this card. I don't know if you agree. If you don't agree, you might just want to have the pearls on there. But this is kind of a simple, sweet card that anyone can make this. As I said, you don't have to have a die cutting machine to cut the out shapes. You can just cut your paper, your white paper, and be done with it. So here's our sample. Here's a better bow. Here's so this is number 3. Let me know what your favorite is. Number 3, number 2, or our fancy fold, number 1. Where is my other one? Well, I don't see my other one, but we're good with this one. So here's our fancy fold. Our easel card, number 1, number 2, or number 3. Which one is your favorite? They're all really different, aren't they? This is very icy and blue and, you know, over the top. This is kind of in between, simple and over the top. And this one is pretty simple. And as Christy said, she kind of likes that, the greeting over the, okay, you're voting. I was thinking the gray pearls might work with the Highland Heather cardstock. So Christy's saying maybe these gray pearls would work with, oh, you're saying instead of these pink ones, huh, Christy? Yeah, I think they would work. I might switch them out later. I'll look at these pinkier ones for a day or so, and then I will decide. I might switch them out. I think that's a good suggestion, Christy. I like it. Okay. Arlene loves them all. Kathy likes number 2. Martha likes number 1. You know what makes me happy about this is that several of you like different ones. So that makes me happy because that means I may be showing different things that might appeal to more than one kind of crafter. People that have different choices for colors. They like other colors better than others, but I'm so happy with these cards, and I'm so happy I got to share them with you today because I didn't know if I'd be here, as I said. So I'm so happy that you shared your time with me. I know your time is valuable, and I really value that as well. So I hope you'll follow my channel. I hope you'll subscribe to if on YouTube, and just follow my Facebook page and like my page. So thanks so much, and you're very welcome for the ideas. Chrissy says, love the fancy fold and the last one. And Arlene said, thank you for the great ideas. You're very welcome, my friends. Take care and good luck with your Christmas cards. You're welcome to post them on my page. I would love to see whatever you're working on. So take care, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.